Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming and welcome to another first Descendant video. So one of the comments I often get is what is my farming routine? How do I collect the materials for the crystallization catalyst and things like that. In my opinion, the biggest bottleneck for the end game is the crystallization catalyst, followed by gold. And if you are building weapons, then your green level 10 cores. Those three things can hold you back from building weapons, descendants, and things like that. I often see a lot of people returning to the game and then frustrated that they don't have enough crystallization catalysts. It takes too long to research them and things like that. So if you form a daily routine and just play the game for a little while, even if it's like 20 minutes or something, you can actually be on top of this and not run out of resources when there is a big update and when you have to build quite a few things. Because what I noticed back in season 1, when I really got into the game and I was trying out different descendants and building them and trying to test different builds, I was running out of crystallization catalysts. So you have to form this daily habit of at least researching one every day and just doing a few of the daily missions so that you have enough gold and enough resources so that when you get serious and you want to build quite a lot of things, you have enough. So I'll share my routine, which I have been doing basically since the end of season 1 after Ultimate Freyna came out. And this way, you will never run out of crystallization catalyst. You may run out of gold if you are like me and you keep re-rolling the green cores. But if you form this daily habit, you'll have enough to build quite a lot of things. You can see I have 214 crystallization catalysts in stock, currently researching one. 31 energy activators, and I've used a lot of crystallization catalysts on various descendants, the weapons, and things like that. I've even built blue and purple guns. So you can see I have 28 crystallization catalysts on Bunny, 10 on Lepic, 14 on Kyle, 10 on Enzo, 15 on Esimo, 14 on Luna, 14 on Clay, 14 on Valby, 19 on Freyna, and so on. 19 on Serena, 16 on Ines. And yeah, probably more on the weapons as well, because I've even built weapons like the Tamer, the Eternal Willpower, things like that. So this is my daily routine, which is more or less unchanged since the end of season 1, but obviously with new events and things, you can include that as well. So let's quickly talk about the events. Right now we have events ending in about 2 days. On the 4th of September, we will have new events, I think 3 new events. And of course, this one is a long-term login event. This will be active for a while, but these will get replaced. But most of them tend to have something where you do certain missions, like 4 missions, and you'll get some gold. You do basically play for 30 minutes and you get something. You kill the bosses a couple of times and you get something like this. So basically, this is the thing they have in the game. So make sure you use this. So when the day resets at midnight Pacific time, I would say log into the game. First thing you do is you go into your consumables. If you have any of these gold boosts, activate them, use them. So this will give you 30% more gold from the missions for 1 hour. I would say this is very important. You use this, and then first thing you do are the 4 daily invasions. So you have 2 missions that you have to do 2 times. Today we had the chapel and we had the shelter. Now the invasions will give you 1.25 million gold per mission. So 5 million from the 4. Plus if you have your 30% boost, you'll get a nice little bonus on top. About, let's say, another 1.5 million roughly, more or less. So that's 6.5 million roughly from just doing this. Now depending on the in-game events, there might be others that are giving you some more gold. For example, if you play 30 minutes daily, you get another million from this Nier Automata collab event. So just playing 30 minutes, just anything. You can be AFK in Albion if you wanted, and you'll still get the gold. So this will give you about 7.5 million gold. While the boost is active and you've finished the 4 invasions, I would say go and do the Void Vessel at least once. So Void Vessel not only gives you plenty of gold, you can get anywhere from 400,000 to about 700,000 for 1 run of the Void Vessel. It does take a little longer, anywhere from sort of 6 to 7 minutes, but I would recommend you do this at least once, because you'll also get the resources for the crystallization catalyst. You'll also get 7 support coins, and various other useful things. And also make sure to open all the boxes, or at least open the bigger boxes, the experimental and the genetic boxes. So that way you will also get more resources, and usually one run of the void vessel will give you enough resources to craft the crystallization catalyst apart from the blueprint. For that we have to do something else. Now, so you got the resources for the crystallization catalyst, you've got plenty of gold. You should have about 8 million gold if you've done all of this. Now, after this, I would say you go to the invasion, the 400% invasion for the day. So, like I said, for today, we have the chapel and the shelter. So you start that, go to the 400%. The 400% tends to give you good amount of gold as well. You will also get a lot of extra weapons that get dismantled, so you can build the fine adjustment axis out of those. Just keep, have your junk filter set up, and it'll just dismantle all the weapons. And just run this a few times. So running this a few times, you will get, you can see all these resources here. They have been giving away quite a lot. They've also added the green cores recently. You will also get like full sets of external components, some reactors. They've added certain types of reactors to certain 400% missions. And so you will get a good amount of gold. You will get all these various resources. And once again, these will be handy for doing other things. But the most important reason why we do the 400% is to get the amorphous materials. So we want the ones that give you the crystallization catalyst in the middle. Okay. So you can see here, by default, the first reward will have the crystallization catalyst. The second one, if you see, the first item here is the energy activator blueprint. We do need them, but it's not as important as the crystallization catalyst, because you will need one energy activator per descendant or per gun, but you will need 8 or 10 or even more crystallization catalysts. So you can pick the first one if you are in the need for the crystallization catalyst. And then notice this one here. This one is sort of more blocky looking. So these amorphous materials, you have to go to the Colossus to open them. And these ones that are sort of more sort of stringy looking, so these ones you have to go to the void fusion reactors. So the void fusion reactors, they are easier, because with the Colossus you have to load into the arena, kill the Colossus, restart. It takes a little longer. But with these ones, you can just go to the map where you have the fusion reactor, and you just spam and kill quite a lot. You can do 10, 15 very quickly. So either select this one. I would say these days I would recommend these more, the ones for the fusion reactor, but you can still use the first two if you wanted to farm some more external components and things like that. This is by default set as the first one, so I often forget and end up getting more of these, but it doesn't matter. If you can remember, pick the third one, and I would say do this a few times, like couple of times, maybe 3 times, and you'll have about 6 of these amorphous materials. Even if you're not opening them, just stockpile them, and then when you need the crystallization catalyst blueprints, go and open a bunch of them. As long as you get 2 or 3, you should be good for farming your crystallization catalyst. So that takes care of the gold and the crystallization catalyst and the research materials for the crystallization catalyst. After that, depending on how much time is left on your boost, I would recommend doing the void erosion purge stage 10. Okay, let's say you have done the 4 invasions, you have done the void vessel, maybe you did a couple of runs of the 400%. You should have about 20-ish minutes left. And these days the void erosion purge doesn't take too long. 2.5 minutes usually is the time I see, maybe 3 minutes if you are a bit slower. I would say go into public and do this at least 4 or 5 times daily, because we also have that 1000 runs medal. I just reached 500 recently. So this way, even if you're not building guns, you'll be stockpiling the cores on the green cores or the other cores, and you can obviously convert the cores if you need more of the green ones. So do this for 4 or 5 minutes. This also gives you a decent amount of gold. Again, 400,000, 500,000 is not uncommon. Plus you'll have the boost. That will also give you something. So you can do this for a bit, and after you have done that, whether you have the boost remaining or not, you can also do the 2 Sigma sectors, just 1 each. So this will be useful because again, you get some more blueprints, you might get the mutant cell box, but most importantly, you want to get the high value relic. These are also useful for increasing your storage capacity, things like that. Plus, you also get a lot of reactors here. You also get cores these days, and the cores for the external components. Also, these are very important resources, the Nano Compound and the quantum crystal and the energy core. These are needed to enhance the external components and also the reactor and things like that. So you want to have a decent amount of the most important things. So this is how I do daily. And once you have done all of this, you can open some of the crystallization catalysts from the Colossus or from the fusion reactors. Or if you don't need anything, you can just make sure to start research on the crystallization catalyst, collect the one that you had started previously, at least do once a day if you can. And also recently with the addition of the axion planes, if you reach a certain point, 70,000, this is going to get changed in the update on the 4th. If you are in the top very high section here with the contribution, you will get a reduction to your research time. So that 7.5 will also go down, and you'll get more RK tuning if you have to finish that on your Descendants. So this will also make your life easier. But yeah, so this is my strategy. I had this issue back in end of season 1. If some of you may remember, I even made a video asking Nexon to do something about the crystallization catalyst. But yeah, I decided to farm them daily, and I've never had an issue since. So yeah, so that's it for this one. Thank you for watching. Let me know your routine if you have one, and what is your bottleneck. For me, gold is the biggest problem, but that is because I just end up re-rolling all the cores too much. But anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. See you next time.